Hey folks, Wade here again. Yes, I'm here with another Salty Shore Shop tooling up video. This is a video showing the first cut of my Harbor Freight 4x6 horizontal and actually vertical bandsaw. I was able to get this saw at a very cheap price, so I went ahead and pulled the trigger. I've been kind of watching these types of saws just because I'm going to need something that cuts off raw material for both the mill and the lathe. I've had this saw for a couple weeks now. Actually, this is a replacement. I ordered one online, and when it was shipped, this cover back here was completely crushed on the motor from the shipping. So I was able to find a store around here and get this one replaced. Before we actually get into the first cut, I want to go over the fact that this saw actually comes with a base. So it has it can be wheeled around on a mobile base, but it's rather short, and so I put it on my tool workbench that is able to be wheeled around. If you've been following me for any amount of time, you'll know that at one point this was 3 or 4 times as long. This was actually the fuselage dolly that I was using to build for the fuselage of my Long Easy, and then I cut it into a square. This position right here, in this area right pretty much where this saw is where the lathe, which is now on its own tool cart, all on its all by itself, and I haven't mounted that yet, but that is soon to come. So we're going to go ahead and fire this up and then test out how it's going to cut this angle iron, which is 2 inches on each leg and 1/8 inch thick. Now, a little bit of irony, or whatever you want to call it, is I'm actually cutting out the brackets that are going to go into each one of these holes, since this isn't, again, going on the base. So it'll actually be cutting out its own brackets to then be mounted to these blocks right here. I do have a removable pan for all the chips and the filings that come off of it. So I notched these 2x4s, and I'm just going to take 4 of these brackets, 2 on the front and 2 on the back, and then mount this and secure it to this somewhat square workbench. So let's get this thing going. There it is. I'll cut with this stop right here so that I can just press this forward. Tighten this up over here. I don't know if you can see it off camera. It might be a little bit too fast. I'll have to get into the manual and check it out, but So that's the first two cuts on this new saw. Again, it's the Harbor Freight 4x6" horizontal bandsaw. Again, it's also vertical. It's a mouthful. But I didn't want to go too expensive. I got a great price on this. And I'll be using this, I believe, quite a bit for cutting stock, as I mentioned before, for both milling and lathing, and then occasionally for the plasma cutter. So that's it. Thanks for watching out here. Cheers.